Europe. Today it plays host for XGames Barcelona, and we begin with the SLS Select Series Prelim. I am Brandon Graham. What is going on? As you can see, live aerial coverage here of the course where all the action's about to go down. Manny Santiago, your Select Series winner from last month's stop in Brazil. He's pumped. Does he have what it takes to walk away with another win here at the Select Series? We now take a look at Heat 1. Joining me now, skateboard industry vet Ryan Clements. Ryan, good to have you here, buddy.
Stoked to be here, Brando. Barcelona, amazing.
Taking a look at Heat number 1 here of the 3 qualifying heats. Some heavy hitters here.
Fran Molina, must be from España.
He's going to be getting us started off. So let's take a look now at the course format breakdown here for the SLS Select Series Prelim. We begin with the flow section, 2 45-second runs. The best score counts. The skaters then move on to the impact section. Each one gets 5 attempts. The best 3 scores count. So your scores are cumulative here, 1 flow plus 3 impacts. And again, Clem, this course is as gorgeous as one you could find. Look at that mosaic tile. That looks like something on your kitchen countertop.
It's a work of art. I like the balance. I like when you look at it like that and then the waterfalls in the middle. It's unreal. I hope no boards get lost in the waterfalls. I was definitely thinking about that. I heard a couple of guys telling Joe C from CA to turn off the waterfall.
So we begin with Fran Molina here, attempt number 1 in the flow section. Just like that, we're kicking it off. And Fran is one of our Spanish Select Series qualifiers. Remember, it's 10 domestic pros plus 5 from the host city. And Fran Molina is skating in his very first X Games today.
Now, I'm not too familiar with Fran, but I'm guessing by seeing his board right there, he had a jart, or however they say it over here. Jart, and I'm sure he rips. Means he's teammates with Bastian.
That's right.
Nice front blunt down the hubba. I can't get over those mosaics. You know, if you look closely, there are some skulls in there, and there's some CA branding in there.
Is there?
And one of the guys put his girlfriend's name in the back of one of them. Yeah, it's pretty good stuff.
So Molina's score comes in a 3.3. Remember, each skater getting 2 45-second attempts, and we count the best score. Up next, though, Ryan DeCenzo.
He's one of my favorites to win this, because he belongs in Street League.
DeCenzo struggled uncharacteristically in Brazil. We expected a little bit more from him, but we assume, Clem, that he's got the strategy down and will be skating a little bit differently here in Spain.
He does, and that was his first contest after that injury.
That's right.
You know, went through a bunch of rehab, and I think he's going for it. Those little bumps that hover are scary to me. They're really scary. It seems like you could blast off them.
10 seconds to play with here as you're getting a look at the course. Those curved rails, man, those are something else.
Yeah, curved and rainbow.
Yeah, rainbow.
The double. I can't say I've seen a rail like that before.
So he'll try and get one more in here.
Ooh, does it count or not?
Not sure if it would have counted, but let's take another look at DeCenzo earlier in his run.
Not mind-blowing, but solid, and that's what he's going for.
A 6.8 for Ryan, so that puts him in first place. Obviously, a lot of skating to go. Up next, though, Evan Smith.
Everyone loves this guy.
He skates with that reckless abandonment that you just love to see on a course like this.
Yes. You know, he's the one that people bring up, like, hey, who's ripping out there? Oh, Evan Smith. Evan Smith's ripping out there. He can win practice every time.
Similar to Brazil, he was putting it down in practice the last couple days.
Great line right there. I like those little bars.
Look at that, even the attention that the menu items have the Street Leaguers' names on there.
It's making me hungry. Switch 5-0 into the bank. Going for a switchback tail.
Clem, how about that center obstacle there? That's a really gnarly raised pyramid with sort of an up and down.
Yeah, it's really neat with having the kind of mini hub on each side, and the fact that it's still a pyramid. If you want to do flip tricks over it, you still can. Oh, there's my boy, Corey Kennedy.
Be hard-pressed to find someone who had more fun at the SLS Select Series Prelim in Foz de Iguaçu than this man right here.
I was digging that creativity right there. The wall ride to 50-50. That would have been nice to see him land. You know, that day that he skated in Foz, I went out to dinner with him that night, and he was still going, man. He's still going. Well, it seems like he's taking things a bit more seriously over here in Barcelona, which I dig.
Yeah, because the fact of the matter is, Clem, is that he really does have a great bag of tricks to compete with these guys here.
He's one of the best dudes out there. Yeah. Super skilled, great skateboarder. Came up so quickly. Room for one more. Man, I'm digging that he tried. Yeah. And you can tell that he did.
Totally different mindset than what we saw just a month ago. So Kennedy's score coming in a 0.9. Evan Smith earlier didn't get that score before, a 5.2 for Evan. And we begin from the top now. Attempts number 2 for heat 1. Remember, there's 3 heats here in the prelim, so 10 more skaters to be competing. They're not just skating against their own heat, but everybody here in the prelim. So here's Fran Molina.
Those doors look real. They look like he's going right through them. Nice nose grind up to nose manual almost on the hubba. You can see the concrete is, with all the moisture, it's still curing. Some parts of it are cured, some parts aren't. It takes like 28 days for concrete to cure.
Yeah, for those fans just tuning in, it has been raining off and on the last couple of days here at Barcelona. So the course, board in agua.
Oh, man.
We knew it would happen, Clem. We knew, we knew a deck would get in there. Amazing. Let's take one more look. I mean, it's fall in the fountain.
It's awesomely funny and not funny at the same time.
So that's a great bump to blast off of, and Fran, I think, just didn't have the speed there and then pulled out last minute. So here's Ryan DeCenzo, who's currently the leader in Heat 1, trying to top that 6.8.
Starting out with the 180 nollie, all solid. Going for a switch feeble, but got the board slide out of it. That works, staying on his board. He's putting together a run. He knows exactly what he's doing. He's really trying to win this. And I think he can.
Yeah, it seemed like it really fell apart for DeCenzo in the stop one. In the impact section. We know that he can compete here, so it'll be really interesting to see what he does in the next section, but skating very well.
Ended up hanging with him that day, and he was so happy to be in Foz and so happy to have skated even though he didn't do well. He was just stoked to be back on his board after that injury.
So that's going to do it. Looks like he ran out of time again to try and get that last hit on the hubba. 5.7 for DeCenzo there, so he'll hold on to his first flow attempt score of 6.8, still in a commanding lead. But here's Evan Smith trying to best a 5.2.
I'm just always pulling for Evan. I want to see him do well. I want to see him put it together. You know, any one of these guys, or most of them, I'll say, could win this, and I'm like psyched to see him go into the Street League contest.
That's right. The winner at the end here between the stops at X Games will, the top 2 ranked skaters watching, make it into Street League for the 2014 season. So a lot at stake here.
Yeah, and then the top or the lower 2 guys from Street League are done.
Correct.
Is that what happens?
The bottom 2 ranked skaters will be eliminated.
That's some pressure.
So that's going to do it for Evan.
He came out swinging.
It's after a 5.2 in his first attempt. A 5.4 for him there. Bumps up his score ever so slightly. He'll stay in second place. So for the final attempts in the flow section for heat number 1, Corey Kennedy just trying to
that was awesome.
Get above a 0.9.
Wall ride 50-50. I like that. The mics on the course are doing well. I heard that. He's going for a beam plant over the channel. For what reason, I have no idea.
All right, I'm going to go.
Corey, again, of course, had a standout part in the Girl Chocolate Pretty Sweet video.
Oh, yeah, mind blowing. We premiered that in Tampa. Those fun nights, packed theater, such excitement. Every single part was amazing.
So that's going to do it for Corey Kennedy's attempt number 2. Not sure. Oh, yeah. Outdoing his attempt number 1 of 1.7.
All right.
But that will keep him in 4th place here in the heat. So let's take a look at the standings after the flow section for heat number 1. DeCenzo in the lead with a 6.8. Evan Smith, though, there behind him at a 5.4. but still more skating to go. Stay tuned. Heat number 1, impact section. Beginning the impact section for heat number 1. Another look at the standings. Ryan Clements and Ryan DeCenzo really looks heads and tails above everybody else thus far. Yeah, no doubt. He's out there on a mission. He wants to be in Street League. You got Evan Smith right behind him. And Evan can do well. Evan can do it. But they got a lot more competition coming up. So here's these first heat. We get started. Fran Molina. Whoa! Hold on. What? Fran Molina previously just dropped his board in the waterfall. And puts that down. Look at this one more time. Wow, he got a speed right. Look at that frontside flick. Perfect catch. Yeah. I was like, who is that again? A 6.4 wearing the Costins there. He looked like EK of old. That looked really good. So here's DeCenzo on his first attempt. Switch 185-0. Remember, each skater getting 5 attempts. We count the 3 top scores. So, Ryan, this is really where the strategy comes into play. You got to land some tricks. You can afford to go for some bangers later, but you got to put points on the board. Here's Evan Smith with his first attempt. Wow, look at that. Everyone coming out. Solid tricks. It's contagious. DeCenzo had a 6.1 previously. Evan Smith a 6.0 there. Wow, look at that hustle with Evan, too. That's impressive. So here now, Corey Kennedy. Corey Kennedy in contests. Beam plan. I wonder what they're going to give him. I'm going about a 2.2. Let's see what the judges think. A 4.2. Wow. A little more generous than they like that. So everyone technically, let's take another look at this. Not without an element of danger over that waterfall, though. I mean, you know, that could have been done in 1986, and you know. All right. So we begin attempts number 2 here in the impact section. Fran. Wow, blasting on a hard flip. Looking like Luan with that pop there. He's got some flip, right? So no score there. Up next, though, Ryan DeCenzo trying to best a 6.1. Running through the guy. Switch one slide. And already, Clem, you're seeing a completely re-energized, re-strategized Ryan DeCenzo as he hits his second attempt. Yeah, I love how he does a nose grind 180 out on the bench just because he's riding by it. 5.9 there. Very nice. So here's Evan Smith, who put a 6.0 on attempt number 1. Leaning a little too far forward. I love how he grabs the nose on his back 360s. Oh, so slightly. So no score there. Remember, they're afforded a couple bails here in their 5 attempts. Corey's taking us back. Well, maybe he's strategizing, right? Because he's landing his first 3 tricks. I got to land some tricks. Yeah. He had 2.3 there, but you know, this is where strategy sometimes can get the best of you. It's not enough to land tricks. You also got to put a little challenge in. Fran not go for the hard flip again. Trying to switch heel. So Molina already with a couple bails. He's got to make his next 2 attempts. Here's Ryan DeCenzo yet to miss here in the section. Nice. Now putting it down. He's skating it beautifully, Clem. 3 for 3. Again, Brandon Graham, Ryan Clements, you are watching the SLS Select Series prelim in Barcelona, Spain. Evan Smith with his attempt number 3. Very tough in the nose. Looking so good, Evan Smith style. One of the new pros on the scene. Great to see him out here. A section high of 6.9. Let's take another look. Yeah, perfect. Looking really good. Thanks. All right, now what's Corey going to do? All right. Hey, Ryan, the way I look at it, this is 3 makes for Corey Kennedy, which is 3 more than he had in Brazil. Good point. So a 1.5 for Corey Kennedy stays on the board. Here's Fran Molina desperately needing a make here. He's looking really good, too. Got a lot of pop once again. That little kicker. As Joe C calls it, a blaster. A blaster. A blaster over the fountain. So here we go. Attempt number 4 for DeCenzo in the lead.
Frontside 360.
Can't roll away there, but again, he could afford a miss, that being his first. He stays in first place. Up next, though, Evan Smith trying to jump up.
Ooh, Cavallero. Evan's so tall, he doesn't even make that look big. And that thing's pretty tall. It's pretty intimidating.
Wow, a 6.8 for Evan Smith. Jumps him up into first place, taking another look.
Nice. That's good to see.
So Evan putting the pressure on DeCenzo. Here's Corey Kennedy, yet to miss an attempt here.
Oh, he's going for a switch 50-50, which, you know, is significantly more difficult than a melon grab or a frontside grab.
So that's his first miss. And Fran Molina.
First time I've ever seen this guy in my life. And he's out here ripping.
Unable to stick it there, and that trick got the best of him. So after recording a 6.4 on the first attempt, he does not score another one. He stays in third position in heat number 1. So here's DeCenzo trying to jump back into the lead.
He's going for a kickflip crooks, ended up in a nose slide. Didn't slide how he wanted. Sometimes you can pull out of that. Didn't work for him right there.
So DeCenzo with 24.1 overall points. Here's Evan Smith.
Going for a kickflip crooks. He was trying to up that score a little bit.
Didn't need it, as he will stay in first place with an overall score of 25.1. And Evan skating a lot better, a lot more confident than he was in Brazil.
Yeah, now can he hold on the lead for 2 more heats?
2 more heats of 5 skaters to go, so it's far from over. And immediately following this thing, we will have the SLS Select Series final. So a lot at stake here. Corey Kennedy.
Kickflip Indy attempt. He's keeping me laughing.
That does it for heat number 1. Corey Kennedy staying in 4th place overall. Started out so promising with 3 straight makes there for Corey. But let's take a final look at heat number 1. The scores coming in. Evan Smith able to topple Ryan DeCenzo there at the end to take first place overall. Here is your current leader, Evan Smith. So much more skating to go. Don't go anywhere. The SLS Select Series standings. Remember, the top 2 guys from that standings will get into Street next year. But we begin with heat number 2. Batters Ops.
Yes, and from where? Latvia?
Latvia.
Had a part in Future Nature, as we were talking about earlier. I've seen him around for years. He skated Amsterdam and many years in a row. And I watched him kind of grow up, and now he's 6'2" plus maybe. Beast. Latvian beast.
Another shredder there on helmet.
Yeah, he's awesome. It's great to see him out here.
So Matters is in here as one of the host city wild cards. So he's skating in his first ever X Games.
He looks like a really tall little kid to me still.
So his score comes in at 1.2. Remember, each skater getting 2 45-second runs here in the flow section. We count the best score. Up next, though, your leader in the SLS Select Series, Manny Santiago.
Man, he comes in with a plan. Kickflip, nose grind, curved rainbow rail. See what he's got here. Oh. Yeah, didn't get a good catch on that kickflip 50-50. Look at that mane of hair that comes out of Manny's hat.
Yeah, he's got to let it flow more.
And a little judo roll out of that fall.
So the Ammo Pro is probably going to call it an attempt here with 10 seconds to go, realizing he knows his line. He'll come back out, put it down.
Yeah, you're probably right with that. A couple seconds left. And he's like, you know what? I'll get a fresh start.
A 1.1 for Manny, uncharacteristic for him there.
Yes.
So up next, Joan Galceran.
All right, news to me.
Hope I'm pronouncing that right.
I think you got it. His existence as a skateboarder is news to me at the moment. It's all new. I'd like to see him put something together.
A recent addition here to the Select Series prelim. This is our first time seeing him skate.
Yeah, for sure. Backflip. Kickflip up. I mean, you know, basic but solid.
Ain't
Put it
nothing.
together. Yeah, I mean, you know, he's skating good. Can't say he's not.
So he'll attack the impact section here.
5-0 down the hub. And a no comply. Staying on, but, you know, he's doing kind of basic tricks.
5 seconds to go here. We'll see what he ends with. I gotta say, this is not a bad strategy for a guy entering his first X Games, skating a course that he's not very familiar with.
We got that earlier because he was after time.
So a 4.3 for Galceron, and he jumps up into the top spot of this heat, 5th place overall. So here's Keelan Dad.
Such a fan. Love the way he presents himself. He's like a rap star. Like, the way he does it, I love it.
DGK all day, Keelan Dad, who was unable to make it to Brazil. This is his first go-around, I believe, at X Games. So stoked to see Keelan here out on this course.
I went out there and talked to him earlier today. I was like, hey, how come you didn't go to Brazil? Visa issues or something? He's like, no, man, I just didn't know about it. I was like, okay, that's cool.
So Keelan's going to hit that hubba.
Switch 180 to 5-0.
With Keelan is a switch master.
Yeah, no doubt. All day.
So a 2.4, but he's just getting his feet wet out here. He'll be in 6th position, and we begin now with attempts number 2. The close section matters.
I'd like to see Matters put it together. Popping out of that front blunt so nicely.
Remember, these guys are competing against all 3 kids.
Almost losing on that Wally. So he's a little upset with that back 360. Didn't work out for him.
This is the second of 2 attempts in the flow section, counting the best score.
Nice backsmith on the hub, putting it down.
That's that 1.2. Looks like he's doing this smart.
Yeah, no doubt. Flawless run so far, except that back 360. Lip slide on the curved rainbow rail. Not bad. One fall.
A nice finish. A look back at the beginning here.
Came out swinging with that. Front blunt transfer, pop out heel.
So a 4.9 for Matters puts him up into 5th position. Manny Santiago trying to jump his score up here on attempt number 2.
Manny gave up after the last one. Let's see what he does. Or about halfway through the last one. Let's see what he does on his second attempt. Very solid on the 50-50 this time. Yeah, it's up there. He was twinkle toeing it last time. Hey! Always appreciate a sense of humor. If anyone knows how to have fun skateboarding and still take it seriously, that's Manny.
So here's Manny hitting the impact section.
Kickflip front 50-50, and then a nollie flip over the little hill.
5 seconds ago. This is the Manny Santiago we know.
He's not really a bonus type guy, but he did it anyway. That was nice.
So this should certainly jump up his score, no doubt. Taking another look.
Nice catch on the kickflip.
A 6.2 for Manny puts him up into 5th place overall, and the top 6 skaters from the prelim make it to the final.
Manny's got rhythm. He can dance.
He can dance if you want to. Up next, our buddy Joe Galceron.
You been hanging with him since you've been in Brazil?
Joan?
Yeah.
No. No, sir. A 4.3 in his previous run. We'll see if he's any more comfortable with the course and if he can up that one.
Nice backside flip up the step up. He's got the hustle. He's got the plan. Hope he can make it to that front blunt. Last time he did this after time.
That just comes with the experience of this format, these courses, of knowing when you can come back to hit those obstacles.
You know, it's interesting with the curved rainbow rail. You would think that someone might have a problem with it, but it doesn't seem like anyone has an issue with it at all. It seems like a completely new obstacle to me. I've never seen one on a street course before.
So again, Johan not timing it out perfectly. It's,
He's still good.
The clock stopped about 15 seconds ago.
He's doing his own thing. He's going to go for the front one right now. He's doing his own thing. That's all right. He's psyched.
So 5.8 there, though. It jumps him up into 6th place overall. Pretty solid skating for a guy we haven't really seen before. So here's Keelan Dad really trying to best that 2.4 from his previous attempt.
Starting out with a lip slide. If Keelan does not get the top 6, he will get the most accessorized award with the gold chains and the
bandana on the left side.
It's tight, man. He's got good style. You can't fake that.
Hey.
You either have it or you don't.
Don't get it twisted, Ryan. You think any of that's an accident? Premeditated, my friend.
I ended up in Miami 2 Friday nights ago at the Super release party.
Of course you did.
You know, just randomly ended up in Miami at the Super. And of course, you know, my man Keelan was there.
Yeah.
It was a fun party. That guy Lil Wayne came. You might have heard of him.
That dude?
Yeah.
That dude. Time expiring on Keelan. Ooh.
Did that count?
I don't know if the judges are going to let that fly. He hopes they do. Fingers crossed.
That was solid.
1.5 for Keelan Dad. So
yeah, they didn't count that.
He's going to have to hold on to that 2.4 and try and make up ground in the impact section. Not skating the way he wanted to. But impact section coming up next here for heat number 2. There is Manny Santiago. We'll see if he can keep it going in the impact section. Stick around. We'll go to the final immediately following today, and we get started now with the impact section. Matters Ops, his first attempt here in the impact.
Going to make the impact look real small.
Gosh, he is a big dude.
Could be a basketball player probably. Look at those arms.
So no score for Matters. Each skater getting 5 attempts. We count the 3 best scores because you can afford to kick away a couple, but you need to land those tricks early on.
Santiago.
And he's showing you how it's done. And of course, our Select Series overall winner from Brazil taking another look.
He has those kick flips into 50-50s. First try every time on everything.
So not only do the top 6 go on to the final immediately following, but then one will win their way into the actual Street League prelim.
There's that frontside front slide.
Also skating really impressively, I think,
yeah.
for a guy on this big of a stage.
I think he's right now going, whoa.
You know, I don't even know if he necessarily realizes the implications of what's at stake. So 5.7 for Galceran, putting him in a 4th position overall. Here's Keelan Dad.
Nice 5-0. Puts it down.
Keelan realizing he needs to get some points on the board after a disappointing flow section. A 6.0, taking another look.
Yeah, and that's a pretty basic trick for Keelan right there. Really like to see what he's going to do coming up with his other attempts.
And we'll get those scores in. Try and put out some bangers on those last couple of attempts.
Nose grind. Matters.
So Matters currently sitting in 8th position. Gets a 6.2 there. Very nice score. Section high thus far early on in heat number 2. Here's Manny Santiago currently in 3rd position.
50-50. That's moves.
Again, MSA telling you how to get things done here in the impact section.
Manny slaying all, as usual.
So a 6.7 for Manny. A couple of impressive opening attempts for him here in the impact section. He's as comfortable as anybody in the Select Series.
He's always out there skating real solid. Galceron going for a kickflip, getting away from him.
Couldn't hold on to it there, so he will stay in fourth. Absolutely.
Non-stop. Uh-oh. How does that count?
I think he can bring it. I believe he can bring it back.
Okay.
So he will get one more go at it. Remember, these guys are skating up to a bump that's a bit of a waterfall.
And you know, in judging your speed right there, especially going up switch foot.
Attempt number one.
Enjoying the flow and the speed of this, man.
Absolutely.
Non-stop. Uh-oh. How does that count?
I think he can bring it. I believe he can bring it back.
Okay.
So he will get one more go at it. Remember, these guys are skating up to a bump that's a bit of a waterfall.
And you know, in judging your speed right there, especially going up switch foot 50-50, that's not easy to do, and that happened to in the first heat. The kid, the board went in the fountain.
Yes, Fran Molina.
Fran, that's right. So it's a tough. Fran, that's right. So it's a tough judge.
Down there, the top 6 from the prelim will qualify for the final immediately following this.
Switch 50-50. Matters.
So Matters putting back-to-back scores on the board, a 5.0, jumping him up to 4th place overall.
That looked really easy for him. Didn't look difficult at all.
Guys like him, guys like Evan have a way of making pretty tough tricks look easy.
Kickflip in the front 50-50. So he's got kickflip back 50-50, pop shove back 50-50, and a kickflip front 50-50.
Just call him the professional.
Yeah.
A 6.3, taking another look.
3 solid tricks in 3 attempts.
So that jumps up Manny to 2nd place overall. Galceron, attempt number 3.
Going for a nose grind, getting away from him.
Yo.
And ending up on concrete.
So that is his 2nd miss. Cannot afford another as he stays in 5th. Here's Keelan Dad. Again, the top 6 from today's prelim will get to the final, and the winner of that SLS Select Series final will skate with the big boys in the Street League prelim.
That's right, that's the goal. Oh, man, going for hard tricks. The skill is just that he has just a fall from that is amazing.
Clem, you and I were talking about that. How is Keelan going to approach this impact section? Because he's just got such difficult tech tricks in his bag.
Yeah.
How was he going to entertain this impact section?
You know, it's his first Street League. Yeah. Really? You know, he probably didn't think of strategy ahead of time. Some guys don't. Maybe he will. He takes things very seriously, so I could see him changing it up.
So here's Manny on his 4th attempt. Can't hold there, so he will stick his 4th attempt away.
Oh, Manny's what, 0.5 away from being in 1st place overall.
Can't hold there, so he will stay in 2nd. Matters Ops previously kicked his 4th attempt away.
Oh, Manny's what, 0.5 away from being in 1st place overall. Look at that.
Galceron.
Going basic on front nose grind.
Looks like he knew he just needed a make there. A 3.6.
Nice balance right there. Love that view.
Great control for Galceron. A 3.6 keeps him in 5th position. Remember, one more heat to go here after heat number 2.
Man, I'd really like to see Keelan land this and what the score would be, but he's not going to do it. Heading up regular, going for a nose round. Look at the strategy right there. All right.
Someone's either whispering in his ear or he's watching how this contest is playing out.
Yeah. Knowing that he needs to get something up on the board.
A 3.7 for Dad with an attempt to go. So we began with the 5th attempts here in the impact section. Matters ops.
Sounded like he broke the board.
Yeah.
Which is probably something that happens on a regular basis with him, is my guess.
Again, the sun really starting to poke its head out now, but raining a lot off and on here the last couple of days in Barcelona. Not sure how that was going to affect the course and the contest for that matter. Here's Manny Santiago.
Crooks. No, I showed up here at about 9:30 this morning. There's a crew from CA out there blowing the course off. Everyone's squeegeeing it. They were out there working and hustling to make sure we could do this contest on time today.
So Manny unable to stick it, stays in 2nd place overall. Here's Galceran in the top 5.
Not quite getting on a 50-50, but hanging on, sort of, and laying back on the ground. Doesn't count though. He's going to get a 0 for that one, right?
That's right. So that's his 3rd miss. He stays in 5th. So here's Keelan Dad in 6th place. Would need a really solid make here to keep into consideration for the final.
Want to see him do it. He overshot it, almost landed on the other side of the hubba.
Not quite how he drew it up. So he will stay in 6th place. Again, the top 6 skaters from today's prelim will advance to the final immediately following. So let's take a look at the standings after 2 heats. Evan Smith just above Manny Santiago, Ryan DeCenzo, Matters Ops, Joan Galceran, and Keelan Dad rounding out your top 6. But again, Heat 3 still yet to skate. So stick around. We'll see if Manny Santiago